HLOOKUPs are very similar to VLOOKUPs, except we find the data that we're looking up along the different columns on a single row, and the table then is turned to its side. For a horizontal lookup, again, the first argument is the lookup value, then the table array that we'll be using, the row index number, how many rows down from that first row you want to go, and the range lookup. Again, if it can be an approximate, then we write true, and it has to be in ascending order. If false, it can be in any order. That means we want an exact match. Let's look at some examples. Go ahead and fill in the yellow list price below. Okay, let me work with you. So we have equals HLOOKUP, and the lookup value in this case is right above us. I don't have to make it absolute because we'll just be copying it on one row. The table, we don't include the headers. The headers in this table are on the left. This looks like a header, but this is actually one of the values we're going to be looking up. So it is important that that be included. In fact, it must be included as the first row. I'll highlight that and hit F4 to make that absolute on the table. That way I can copy it across. Let's then go for the row index number. So that's 1, 2, 3. And can it be approximate? That's false. It has to be an exact. In fact, you'll notice here we have V before F. It is not in ascending order, but it doesn't matter because we're not doing an approximate lookup. We're doing an exact lookup. And I'll hit enter. So TTY or Y, 10,000, that looks good. Let's copy it across and try another value. Here VBNMR 15554. Yeah, we check out a few values. That's always important to make sure you're getting what you think you're getting in the table. Let's move on down to the second example. This is a little bit tougher. We have a race going on, and there's allowed times that we need to put in here. If you're a male and you're in your 50s, now this means 50s because you notice over here the age group 2 if you're in your 20s, 3 if you're in your 30s, 4 if you're in your 40s, 5 if you're in your 50s, and 6 in your 60s. So male in his 50s over here, we look up, oh, his time should be 35. We want to put that here in the time allowed. Go ahead and try this first. The results will mean a lot more if you've actually put some effort into it and tried this out. Okay, some of you ran into some problems. Probably the biggest problem is, what is the offset? Let me do this with you. So we said this is a horizontal lookup because, for one thing, that's the tab we're on. But what are we looking up? We're looking up gender, either male or female, and it's along this row. So the lookup value is male or female. The table does not include these headers on the left. It needs to include male and female because that's what we're looking up, and then all the possible values that we'll be returning. So I'll hit F4 and the row index number. Now this was very clever the way this was put together, because Cliff in his 50s, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can actually just click on this age group here and it will work for us in the table. And can it be approximate? Can what be approximate? That's right, gender. In this case, we can only have females or males, so it is false. And we get 35 for Cliff. Let's copy that down. Let's see, Rebecca is female in her 30s, so female in her 30s, 29. Good, that works as well. It was very clever the way this table was put together, But we could have had just the ages here instead, and then some calculations to figure out which group they're in, and then use that also for the offset. So we didn't have to do that ahead of time, but it does make it nice. Most people, if they know VLOOKUPs and HLOOKUPs, they think they know all about lookups. But there's a lot of other things we can do as well. Let's take away the restraints, try other methods of retrieving data, and displaying that where we need it.